What's up everyone, Art at Patience Metal Fab, and if you guys are tuning in to this episode, you're probably a big fan of the UTV content that we've been putting out lately, like on this RZR Pro R. We did a bunch of cage work on this. As it sits right here, it's probably 80 or 90% of the way done, but if you guys are seeing this video, it means it's all finished up, and I'm gonna put a link up here so you guys can see that episode. This has been a fun build, and we've made pretty quick work of this one. In this episode, we're gonna be focusing on another RZR, but on a little bit of a smaller scale. You guys are gonna see exactly what I mean when I walk over there. Gary's making some progress on it right now, so we're gonna get together with him and see exactly what this build has in store for us. Hey Gary, is this what happens when two RZR Pro Rs love each other? They get together and make one of these?
This may not be two Pro Rs. This may be like two XP Pros or something.
So you said we have a RZR coming in, and then you drove it in with Andrew, actually barely stuffed into this thing. I assume this is for kids?
This is Polaris' new entry for kiddos. They're going away from the 170. This is their new 200. What you're seeing now is a transition in the racing classes over to these things. So we kind of get to be on the front lines of that, develop something that's Pro Champ off-road approved for the kids to run, and then let them go out and tear it up. Pro Champ does a pretty good job with their safety requirements. Basically everything all the way up to the big turbo models, clear on down to the kid stuff. Generally speaking, the cages are pretty similar. A lot of door structure for protection, some paneling, good trustworthy DOM cage, comparative to what comes from the factory on this thing.
So what does come from the factory? Can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of what we got?
I mean, you could probably tip this over in the parking lot and it would bend. There's not much to this. I imagine it's probably all ERW, bolted in multiple places, some light sheet metal gussets. I mean, it's enough for, you know, all these kids are tooling around in the yard, but there's 36 kids that run in this class.
I always make fun of the little dots that we put on as chicken pox, and it kind of seems fitting because this is like the kid version, and kids always get chicken pox. Yep. So we're doing the dots, we're gonna be doing some scanning, and then really developing this cage digitally.
Yep.
So we can repeat this even without one of these 200s in the shop.
I mean, ultimately what we'd like to do is be able to offer this to the local series. You know, we can do a full bolt on with a few additional bars that somebody welds together in the end, or a complete weld on kit, kind of whatever. Beautiful thing with that Bentec Dragon that we run is the repeatability of it. It makes it so nice.
The only thing I ask, Gary, is that you and Andrew, once the cage is finished, drive this around our lot again, because that's hilarious.
That one's gonna be even better, because the challenge with this that we'll be shooting for is we're gonna drop that roof line considerably, right? Get a lot of this weight out of the real high points. I mean, your average kid is about this tall sitting in this thing. We can take 8 inches out of this. That means when you put me and Andrew back in this, if we did our job well, our heads should be sticking out of the top of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. So let's get started and see what we can get done today. The R200 cage just got loaded up with a few other projects that we've been working on, and it's heading to race coatings to get powder coat done. That should be finished up in about a week or so. Then we're getting it back to the shop to get back on the R200 because we've got an event at ERX Off-Road Nationals coming up. We're gonna debut it there, and then we're gonna send that rig off to get decals and sponsorship on the side. And I think we're gonna get it back to the shop one more time, get Gary involved, and do a bit of a wrap up on this episode and this build.
We like to test drive all our customer vehicles here at Patience Metal Fab, even if we don't fit in them. We need about 4 of these and then have like our own version of one of these little 500 races everybody's doing nowadays.
We do have enough. We could do like a grass and dirt course out to asphalt and maybe around the building. This thing is about to take off tonight. I figured now that we got it back from all the decals, we can go over everything we've done and all the stuff that we might have not seen, like the AIM things and everything electrical inside. So let's start with the obvious, the cage.
It's all 095 wall, which is what's required. Some of the bars are 1.5 inches, some of them are 1.25 inches. The perimeter bars, the primary bars that would impact first are 1.5 inches on this.
Speaking of safety, I assume this is a requirement for the race?
Yep. And that's one of the pieces you'll notice there's only one of these right now. There will be a second one that fills out this window over here. Again, rock guards meant to stop anything big, obviously coming inside the car. We got this on the front, we got a second one that fits the side, and then there's a window net over here that we're waiting on right now from 5030 window nets that are making us one.
And there's a couple things on the inside that were done. Obviously the harness, what else do we want to highlight?
The Simpson gives a little more support than the factory seat. It anchors in a little bit better. It allows for a good set of harnesses. We do also have the SFI spec harnesses in here as required by Pro Champ to run the series. We got a nice little AIM micron, which we can do a solo instead of a micron, which actually gives you a little bit more capability as far as the data logging goes, because you can actually monitor a CAN stream on it versus just this one, where it's mostly just GPS and an RPM signal picked up off the wire. We do have a kill switch in the back. We've also got the required fire extinguisher mounted to it with the Joe's bracket, so it's a quick release bracket. All in all, mainly the safety things.
Obviously the cage is awesome, plus all the extras that we added on. I think the coolest thing is seeing our logo on the side of this. Do we want to mention the other sponsors or anyone involved in this build?
Yeah, absolutely. We've kind of recently started working with Bikeman on some stuff. We've got a pretty cool build coming up that's going to have a bunch of their parts on it on my personal general. But Bikeman, clutches, you know, pipes, all your performance parts. This thing actually has a Bikeman tune in it. It will also get a Bikeman pipe on it to kind of finish this thing out as a race ready rig. Professional Mechanical Services is a company that got behind this. The owner kind of brought them on board to support it. And then there's a series of smaller companies. Highway 47, I mean, you can run the list. They're all on there. Everybody's been involved in this thing. It's pretty cool with the 200s being a brand new kind of model to the race series. There were 36 cars in the 170 class at ERX the other weekend. There were 4 of these things. So obviously the class is going to grow.
So what that really means is this is the first of many of these for us. This is probably the one of few full-length videos that we're going to put out on these, but you guys are going to see it in our social media throughout the year and into next season. And what I'll do is put a link for this cage and any of the accessories down in the description on this so you guys can get it by the time this is edited information out for you to watch. All that stuff will be up on the website. If you have any interest in getting this for your R200, then you can just reach right out to us. So thank you guys for enjoying this video. Make sure you subscribe, like it, and we'll see you in the next one.